What's going on, guys? Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Raptors. I'm your host Satish on my channel where you get reviews, analysis, predictions, and hot takes on all things Raptors as well as some NBA. So, the Raptors had their game against the Knicks today at home in an important game, and the Raptors bent just like that stick right there. They bent like crazy, but they don't break. And I will tell you guys exactly how. So without a further ado, let's talk Raptors versus the Knicks. So coming into this game, the Raptors are one game behind the Knicks, and they need this win in order to pretty much put the Knicks in the same situation as we are in. I think it's set for tied for the 11th or the 10th spot. But anyway, so the Raptors come into this game, basically guns a blazing, right? The Raptors come out and they take about a 19-point lead by the end of the first quarter. And in the first quarter, I think it was the first quarter or the second quarter, doesn't matter. The highlight play shows up where Scotty Barnes goes coast to coast, two-hand jam right in the face of the Knicks. And then the first quarter rolls on, and by the end, I think it was mid-third, second quarter, the Raptors were tied. We blew a 19-point lead, and we couldn't buy a bucket. The only person that was keeping us in the game at that time was Gary Trent Jr. because he went off in this game, and I will tell you guys, what he did well. And by the end of the second quarter, we are up by 8 points going into the halftime. Come out in the third quarter, and same thing. It's the Knicks tied the ball game. The Raptors go on a 5-point run. Knicks tie the ball game. Raptors go on a 5-point or 7-point run. Knicks tie the ball game. The Raptors go on a 5 to 7 point run, and that continued on and off and on and off until the late fourth quarter. So once we got to about I think it was a 3-minute mark or the 2-minute mark, RJ Barrett goes off for 5 points straight, a 3-pointer and a 2-pointer. And then, the veteran Derrick Rose. I love this guy's game, man. I love it. He's so calm. Comes down the other end, shoots the ball, nails a 2-pointer, gives the Knicks a 1-point lead with I think it was 1 minute and 14 seconds or 1 minute and 47 seconds left in the game. And, at that time I'm thinking, holy shit, the Raptors are going to lose this game. And they're up 80, Knicks are up 87-86. We come down to the other side. Basically, Gary Trent takes a 2-pointer. Back of the rim, clank. I think Siakam bats it out. Freddie gets an open 3, misses it, clank. Scotty Barnes gets the rebound, gets it to Freddie. Freddie shoots, quick passes it to Gary Trent. Gary Trent nails a 3-pointer, and that is highlight number 2 because that put us up by 2 points. But the game's not over yet. So the Knicks come down to the other side. The ball goes out of bounds. They call it first that it's off the Knicks, but they review it and it turns out it's off of Freddie's foot. And the Knicks are going to be able to take. I think it was about 13 or 25 seconds left, and I'm sorry, guys. I just went blank there. Anyways, Julius Randle gets an open 3-point shot, and it just rolls out of the rim. And I was just like, holy shit, that's going in, and we're screwed. But it rolls out. Siakam comes to the other side, and he's trying to give us the lead. And, that was before, yeah. So, and then Gary Trent gets the rebound. He gets fouled right away with 1 second left on the clock. He goes and nails the first free throw, puts us up by 3, and he can ice the game. And he's doing so well in this game that I thought he was gonna ice it, but he misses a second free throw, and there's .06 left on the clock, and or is it .6? Anyways, it's half a millisecond left. The Knicks come out. RJ Barrett gets the ball, and he actually gets it off, and it seems it's going online. And it hits the side of the rim, and we win the damn game by 3 points. And I'm just like, holy crap. The Raptors bended like Beckham. They bend over, but they didn't break. And that was something that I liked in the Raptors. So my key takeaways today is number one is resiliency. This team is showing resiliency. There's been a lot of close game for the Raptors, and our offense doesn't seem to be working most of the time. We do have like spurts of doing very good offensively, and then it goes dead. But the good thing is that we have Gary Trent who can get his own bucket, and it seems like Scotty Barnes, every time we need something done, he does something, and that shows like he's going to be a star in the league. But the Raptors keep fighting, especially on the defensive end. And that's my second key takeaway. The Raptors defensively, whenever they try their best, and Nick Nurse is making the right calls. Like today, he was doing a 2-3 zone or a 3-2 zone or a box in one and everything. And he primarily stuck with different type of zones. It worked for the Raptors, and it seemed like Nick Nurse was on his game today. And it seems like the Raptors are, constantly holding teams to under 100 points because their defense is keeping them in this game. Offensively, the Raptors struggle. There's a lot of lulls, and that allows teams to get back in, but they're showing resiliency because now people like, Gary Trent are starting to show that they can get their own bucket. Scotty Barnes is doing the same thing. Fred VanVleet are doing the same thing. So it's a good thing for the Raptors to be able to grow that way. This third key takeaway I have for you guys is Chris Boucher. It seems like, benching his ass didn't work out, and he's playing very, very well now. He's coming out with a lot more energy. He seems like he's doing everything he can possibly to stay on the floor. And it's the old Chris Boucher. He's not just jacking up threes all the time. He's getting to the bucket, doing the dirty work and everything like that. So as long as he does that, once he goes back to the bench, we'll have at least some sort of offensive weapon coming off the bench. The third key takeaway, and this is kind of a negative one, but I like Delano Benton, but I still think Malachi Flynn needs to come in, and he should be the secondary point guard because it seems like the offense runs a little bit better. Everybody knows where they're at. There's a lot more open shots that are created when Malachi is on the floor because he does a lot more different things. He's a good passer. He tries to get to the bucket every time. He has those, herky-jerky moves like Freddie does, so it causes the defense to collapse. And I think he's a better floor general because he has that 1 year under his belt, so he's a little bit more comfortable telling guys that have been in the league for 5-6 years that, go stand there. And I think that if Malachi gets more consistent minutes, our bench unit will do a little bit more better, a lot better actually, than they have been doing right now. And the last takeaway I have for you guys is that, given how we're playing defense, it's going to be scary when the Raptors actually get Kem Birch back and OG Anunoby back and Precious Achiuwa back. Because a few of the guys like Chris Boucher and Scotty Barnes might have to go into the bench, and that will make our bench unit a lot stronger, but it will keep our defense even keel. So right now our bench is struggling, and if we get that bench presence with our defense and our starters firing the way they're firing, the Raptors are going to be a scary team to face, and it's just a matter of time for Kem Birch and OG Anunoby to come back. I cannot wait for us to be, have our full roster because we are going to be a scary team. We are going to be scary defensively, and we are going to be scary offensively because right now what we're missing are 20 points. And if OG comes, if Scotty goes to the bench, that's 10 points coming off the bench with OG's 20 points in the starting lineup. And Precious goes to the bench or Kem Birch goes to the bench, that's 8-10 points there. And the starter there, whoever's starting, gives you 8-10 points there. So it evens out for us, and we'll do a lot better. So that's what I have for you guys for the key takeaways. The MVP today, straight up, man, Gary Trent Jr. is Mr. Ice. He went off today. He came out with 26 points, no rebounds. But he kept us in that game. Every time we needed a big bucket, he got it. He got us the go-ahead bucket that put us up by 2 points, and eventually won the game with it. He nailed his free throw, 1 out of 2, doesn't matter. And same thing with Scott. And I think the secondary MVP was Scotty Barnes and Pascal because they did a great job on this defensive end on Julius Randle. He didn't really go off today. They did a good job defensively. Even though Pascal had a bad game offensively, his defense kept us in that game, man. Same thing with Scotty. Scotty did timely stuff. Even though he wasn't going off offensively, he was efficient, but at the same time he was good. He made the right decisions. So the primary MVP goes to Gary Trent, and the secondary MVPs is shared between Scotty Barnes and Pascal. So guys, I think the Raptors are finally starting to do a little bit better, and I hope it continues because we have Sacramento on Monday. That should be a easy win. But again, the Raptors bend and they scare the shit out of us, and you can't really predict them right now with OG and Kem not in and Precious not in the lineup. So my predictions for Monday: we beat Sacramento, and this time we don't keep it close. We whoop their ass. And that's all I have for you guys for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed the content. Please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It will help me out. And I will see you guys after the Sacramento games. You guys enjoy the rest of your weekend.